Back again with another one, FUTV. The FU stands for us, because that's what it's about. It's for us, not nobody else. I got a street legend with me right now, man. You know what I mean? Let the people know who you is.
Man, my name is Lawrence Versey, a.k.a. better known as Ghetto Boy Don Fly, man. You know what I mean? Born 1974, just turned 50. How y'all doing, Milwaukee? Our city, baby.
All right, we finna jump right into it. At what age you jump off the porch? What was it? What? I know me personally, I know, but the people don't know. So when you jump off the porch, what was it? What quick was it?
You know, when I first jumped off the porch, and this kind of unique, man, because, you know, I was raised around some of everybody type shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know, so I'm gonna say they didn't have me doing fucked up shit, but I've been seeing shit since I was 8 years old. Mm-hmm. By the time I was 10, you know, I was full out banging, you heard me?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just real. I'm telling the honest God truth. You know, I was really banging at the age 10.
What you was banging?
You know what I mean? I still, to this day, I represent 2-7. Everybody know that I'm a dealer's boy, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Later on in life became a ghetto boy, which I am, who I am today.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, but a lot of people don't know our history, and I would tell a motherfucker our history.
Right. So, at what year, when you jumped off and became an Adidas boy, what year was that?
I was officially 8 years old.
8 years old.
I became known throughout junior Adidas boys and baby Adidas boys. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know, because it's a difference. You got Adidas boys, you got junior Adidas boys, then you had baby Adidas boys, which who I was. You know what I mean?
Which one?
I was a baby Adidas boy.
Okay.
You know, and you know, and at this time, you know, I think that was like what, 83. You know what I mean? When I first started recognizing what it was to be affiliated with anybody.
Okay, so 1983, I wasn't even born yet, so.
Right, and I was number 9 years old, you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
what was it like back then?
I mean, the difference between this era and that area is, you know, even do with the violence, you know what I mean? You know, you had a lot of, you know, even before my time, you know what I mean? Because I was still a kid. You know, you had niggas, they didn't get out here we didn't have guns. You know, if you had a gun, you consider it was one of them niggas that had money. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just like, you know, crack cocaine it didn't exist in our community.
Right.
You know, powder cocaine didn't even exist in our community unless you had some money. You know what I mean? So you had knives, bats, chains, and shit like that. You know what I mean? And you had your groups, certain groups out of different territories and neighborhoods, you know.
What groups you have out here?
You know, back in our area over there, you know what I mean, where we from, you know, this ghost town forever, you know what I mean? You had 2-7, you had 1-9 Dinkin, you know what I mean? And you had your boulevards further down, but you had your Brown Street boys, you had your Trefo mobs, you know what I mean? And even before Ghetto Boys came out and all these other gangs, you know, you had BOS and 2-4, and one of the main gangs you had out here back in them days was 5 Alive. So, you know, them was the original street gangs that was ever formed here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay, give me what's the original street gangs from Milwaukee? None that came from Chicago, the ones that originated here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay, you got your ESGs, original.
That's East Side Gangsters.
East Side Gangsters, you know what I mean, for sure. Shout out to all my East niggas. Then you got us, you got 2-7. 2-7 is one of the biggest street gangs that's ever gonna be recorded here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. And then you had your 2-5 Brown Street boys, you know what I mean? They're original. Boulevard is original. Right. You know what I mean? And 2-4, they're original. You know what I mean? So, and there wasn't that many. You know what I mean?
2-4s, they fall under the Vice Lord banner, right?
I mean, not really. Just like 2-7 to fall under really GD, BGD, BD, Vice Lord, none of that.
Right.
2-7 was just a street gang.
Right.
Ran from all the way from Vienna to motherfucking whatever type shit. You heard me?
Right.
You know?
Dig that.
That's just real shit. That's history. That's something that I was taught from the heads. You know what I mean? You know?
If you can, without disclosing too much, who were some of the heads of the 2-7s?
I mean, you know, you can look at certain individuals' heads because they're just like, you know, you grew up under us and with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We family. You know, they're just like dealing with the ghetto boys. You know what I'm saying? Everybody have a role they have to play
Yeah.
inside of any organization. You know what I mean? You know, like dealing with the ghetto boys in 2-7. I'm like you said, I'm gonna start off with 2-7 because the only motherfucker that really got some influence to me in my life. See, I can respect them, but when they come to certain shit, I'm gonna tell you to fuck you, move around, because you can't talk to me.
Right.
I'm one of those type motherfuckers, you know what I mean? But I respect Jerry Walker.
Free
I
Jerry
respect,
Walker.
rest in peace, Lil Greg.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I respect Jeff McLeod, Steve McLeod, because them like uncles to me too.
Right.
But my big brother is Lafayette and Jeff. Them the only motherfuckers that really can say fly. Sit your ass down, folks. What
Right.
you on with you?
Right.
You know what I mean? Even if it takes for me to go knock a nigga shit off, you can't talk to me. Yeah, you can't talk to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even if it takes for me to go knock a nigga shit back or whatever the case may be. Them two motherfuckers I just named, the last two, them the only motherfuckers that really can come and say, hey, fly, sit your ass down.
Who was the last two?
That's Lafayette and Jeff.
Okay.
Jeff Golden.
Yeah. All right, so we in what, 83? 83 seemed like a prominent year, you know what I mean, for Milwaukee street gangs when shit, you know what I'm saying, really started doing what it do, so to speak. You know what I mean? So what was it like jumping off the porch, being out here in these Milwaukee streets in 83?
Well, you know, my mama always been a hustler. You know what I'm saying? My daddy always been a gangster. You know, we was taught shit at a very young age. Like I said, I was introduced to the streets at 8.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's the honest God truth. I've been around a lot of gangsters in my life. Pimps and hustlers. Whatever fuck a nigga want to call it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I've been taught a lot of shit, and it was like this when I jumped off the porch. The bigger homies took care of us. You know what I mean? They just want to know how a person can be appreciated. Something that the mother can't do or the daddy can't do, the homie right there, the big bro right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's how I grew with me. Every older 2-7 took me places. Whether it was a candy store or go buy a Run DMC album, whatever the case the motherfucker may be.
Right.
It was that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's when I started jumping off the streets, you know what I mean? Coming out here, I bust me a couple moves as a kid, you know, and I call my moves, is back in the day, we used to get on the bus and take the whole transfer list. You know what I mean? That's type of, hey, grab, snatch, run, yeah, you know? And that was when I was young, man. But them are the people that taught me something in the streets.
Right.
That taught me how to live and survive out here.
Right.
Like I said, man, you know, mom's always been a certified motherfucker.
Who was your mother for the people that don't know?
My mother's name is a.k.a. Versey, who have a lot of street influence right to this motherfucking day. You know what I mean? You know, she like just like your mom. Everybody moms that grew up with us, they big mamas or they TTs.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mama, her name is a.k.a. Versey, certified with this shit. You hear me? Yeah. Shout out to moms, dude.
That's what's happening. So, starting off with 2-7 and evolving into the ghetto, how did the Ghetto Boys come about?
You know,
For the record, we ain't talking about the rap group in Houston. We talking about the street gang in Milwaukee County, Wisconsin.
all my life, you know, we was always together. You know, like I said, you know, a lot of us come from 2-7 to 19 Dinkin. And then later on in life, you know, we had a lot of foes that represented the mob. But, you know, when we transformed from 2-7, it was always me, Big Norm, Nitty, Feel D, you know what I mean, JV, Reg, Hearn, you know what I mean, certain individuals that played a part with them being Baby Adidas boys.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then, you know, just like some of your cousins, you know, that was Baby 19. You know what I'm saying? They had their problems within their own. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we all used to be beefing with each other, one another. Every day growing up as a kid. You know, we used to go take their mattresses because we used to hear backflips and shit. Take their shit. They used to come up on our deck across front of like and take our shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? We used to fight, all that shit. You know what I mean? But one day we came together because not only that, we realized that a lot of us was family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So not only that they was going through their trials and tribulations within their own organization, we was too. So, you know, a few of us branched off. You know what I mean? Some went back across Center and Cypress, Clark, and all that way.
Who
And
over
then,
there? Who in the Cypress Clark area?
that was CMW, who later, along with like some of them, became Murder Mob. You know what I mean? But Murder Mob ain't nothing but they still represent 27. They 272.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just as well as we is. You know what I mean? So, you know, we kept bumping heads with some of our own people. We love them niggas, you know what I mean? We can't go do what we normally do to a motherfucker, fam. You know what I mean? So, you know, but we had a decision to make. You know, we know that.
All right, we back again. So we left off, you know what I'm saying, 27 boys, Adidas boys. So how did the Ghetto come about again?
You know, we kept getting into it with some of our own people, man. You know, we had two different sides.
What side was that?
You had CMW, which is Clark Street Most Wanted, who later in life became Murder Mob. Then you had our side, which we wasn't even Ghetto boys yet. We was just still baby Adidas boys at the time.
Right.
And you know, and you had our side, which was Fond du Lac side in Cypress. You know what I mean? And you know, we had a decision to make. You know, to either separate ourselves and become something greater, because we already knew what we had.
Right.
We had loyalty.
Right.
And friendship, real friendship. And you know, we didn't want to keep getting into it with these cats. You know what I mean? But I still fuck with a lot of them to this day, and I love them.
Right.
But you know, it is what it is. History is history.
And what year was this?
I can actually say what I'm gonna say, like shit, 86, 87 is when it was officially we're no more baby Adidas boys.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, we separated. Some became 7 Deuce, and some became CMW.
Right.
You know, shout out to Von, Dynamite, Lil Nate, Lil Baby Ant, rest in peace Ant. You know what I mean?
Right.
Rest in peace Lil Fuzz.
How did the name Ghetto Boys come about?
I mean, it actually came about on Lisbon.
What in Lisbon?
34th in Lisbon. That territory was already dominated though by a street gang.
Who was that?
Trefo Mob. You know, and this was even before those Soul Food cats came out over there.
Right.
You know, it was always Trefo Mob and Boulevard. There was the most two dominated street gangs over there in that area.
Right.
All the way from motherfucking shit. All the way from motherfucking 27, from North Avenue to goddamn motherfucking Walnut. That's all you had was motherfucking Boulevard and Trefo Mob. You know what I mean? So, Ghetto Boys came about, we met a cat named Ghetto. He was like a Mexican / Puerto Rican type motherfucker out of California, but he was a good dude. And you know, he gave us that name. Now we don't know if there was other Ghetto Boys in the state of California at the time, but that's where he from. He was a Crip. But you know, we different, man. You know what I mean? But you know, that's how it came up about. That's where we from. We still represent the dirty trades.
Right.
You know what I mean? We still represent that to this day too. You know what I mean? So that's where Ghetto Boys officially formed Milwaukee, Wisconsin New Family Street Gang.
So automatically y'all must have clashed with the Trefo Mob from, you know what I mean?
Numerous of times.
How did that come about?
You know, They didn't want no new street gang coming trying to take over their territory. You know, that goes with any street gang, or if this your neighborhood, this your set, you're not gonna let nobody invade that shit. You heard me?
Right.
And I think that's where it came about. You know, we was younger than them. You
What
know,
was the age difference?
the age difference was in the bracket of, because Tobin them are in our age bracket, but Tobin them still got us about 2 or 3 years type shit. And that was he was baby Trey folk. You know what I'm
He
saying?
still got y'all about some years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like being on 34th, trying to establish yourself when it's already something dominant that's already over there? You know what I mean? What kind of struggles y'all had by planting y'all flag? Like, shit, this what it is right here too.
I promise you, Ghetto, I promise you on my life, we had to fight every day. You know what I mean? And we really had to fight.
Right.
And it wasn't worried about, if you got killed, it was about getting your ass beat down. You know what I mean? We didn't have to worry about no guns, I tell you, but we fought every day to go home, to go back to the hood.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that right there, I done been jumped on. I ain't jumped on people. You know what I mean? So they fought for their territory.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I respect that. They taught us a lot of shit. You know what I mean? So I fuck with a lot of them to this day too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Shout out Big KD. Shout out RM.
On my life.
You know
On
what
my
I'm
life. On my soul. Raw
good
Tim,
guys.
Wayne, JP. What's happening, baby?
Right.
Q1, what's happening?
So what made y'all end up on 34th?
My mother was the first one that moved on the trays. Moved on 32nd and Garfield.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the days. And then my auntie Niecy, which is Norm and Felight and her mama, they moved up on like 37 to Lisbon.
Mm-hmm.
We was the first two. Then next thing you know, we get a phone call. You know, back then, you know, you had the house phone.
Right.
Get a phone call, Frank Nitty and them stay on 34.
Shout out to Nitty.
You know what I mean? Yep, what's up to big ghetto boy Nitty?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, they moved over there. Next you know, everybody's families started moving over here, the motherfucker. Then we see Pooh, Noop, Squeak, Dizzy. You know, one day me and Feel like D walking. I see them. You know, they out of Ghost Town.
Yeah.
They out the hood. So that's when we became watchable. Motherfuckers, everybody had their eyes on us like, who is these little niggas type shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? They not knowing, and we not even knowing at that time that we know these cats. Mm-hmm. All of us know each other. We all off Fond du Lac in all through the areas. You hear me?
So a bunch of cats off Fond du Lac ended up
over in the trades.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the same cats, like I said earlier, the same individuals who I'm talking about, they was having problems within their own.
Right.
Just like we was having problems within our own. We kept fighting. We kept fighting our own. We go to school, on the same bus stop. I don't give a fuck where it was at, was going down.
Right.
So we had to make that decision, man. We're going to become Ghetto Boys. When Beto gave us that name, Ghetto Boys, we ran with it.
Right.
And this was before the rappers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So Beto, he came to the city for a little while, then he went back to Cali.
He had family here.
Okay.
That stayed in the hood.
Right.
But they didn't recognize that they had a cold gangster under their hands. They thought they was just one of them nephews they ain't seen in a minute type shit.
Right.
Not knowing he a street person too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So when it comes to the ghetto, give me some prominent names. Some, you know, everybody stand out in their own way, but who had the charisma? Who was the, you know what I mean, the one that, let's say he hit the block, everybody light up. You know what I mean? Everybody got more bounce in their step. You know what I mean?
To be honest, I think that's me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I try to keep a smile on everybody's face, and I do brighten people's day when I come around.
Right.
Because I don't give a fuck what happened in the past, none of that shit. We have a family that I try to keep together.
Right.
Daily. And if it don't happen daily, I try to keep it weekly. At some point in time in life, a motherfucker gonna say, man, that's fly legacy.
Right.
I brace up everybody today. What I got, you got.
You dig that.
And we're going to have fun. Am I like? But it's a few other cats. You
Give
know
me
what I
some
mean?
names. Give me some names.
You have, I'm not even going to lie because we all got a kick out of the cuz. Even though a lot of shit been going on in life, Dolo was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Kept every motherfucker funny. He kept everybody on edge.
Right.
We got to always, you
Right.
hear me type shit, but he kept everybody laughing, having fun. You know what I mean? You got, to be honest, man, if we're going to say keeping the smile on a motherfucker's face, rest in peace for Feli.
Feli P is two Felis. We got
No,
Feli
I'm
D.
talking about Feli P.
Yeah, we got Feli D. And rest in peace to Feli P.
Yeah. Because even though you can make a motherfucker happy just by your presence being there, but you're not putting that smile on a person's face.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? That just like goes for, like, we're going to say Big Norm, your brother, a few other people. We happy to see you. We happy that you here, but all that laughing and shit going out the window because these niggas serious as a bitch. Look, ain't no motherfucker. You always gonna fuck looking this way at folk. You always gonna be like this, but we still happy because you here. We see each other, we smoking, we drinking, whatever. But these type of niggas ain't no ha-ha re-rin.
Right.
You know what I mean?
His own, his own.
I promise you, it's like that with certain individuals.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
But I
what's
just
happening.
gave you a few names, and I think that I'm one of them that's gonna always keep a person happy
For sure.
and have fun.
So, y'all come along, you know what I mean? The ghetto established, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got to fight it out with Trey 4 Mob to establish y'all that we here, you know what I'm saying? What was it like, though? What was a typical day waking up back then, you 13, 14, knowing, you know what I mean? It's a great chance when I walk out this door. Either I'm going to get my ass kicked or I'm going to kick some ass. What was that like?
You know, every day it was a gut feeling. You know, but I couldn't be that type of person. I woke up every morning feeling, I said, damn, I'm gonna have to fight.
Mm-hmm.
They even go to the bus stop without moms not having to take a nigga to school.
Right.
I got friends who I want to meet up at this motherfucking bus stop. You know what I mean? So I fought every day and I knew that I was gonna have to fight. And it was always a gut feeling, fam.
Knew what it was.
I knew what it was. I knew what it was when I was getting off that motherfucker.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What school you went to?
I went to Burbank Elementary School, and then I went to Daniel Webster Middle School, and then I went to Bayview High School.
Dig that. So, coming of age, you know what I'm saying? What was it like, you know what I'm saying? Just having to, you know, deal with certain shit, you know what I'm saying? Did you do any time in the joint?
You know, I did a lot of shit, and I ain't been to the joint too.
Right.
You know what I mean? I did 13 years in the federal maximum prison.
Which joint was that?
I started my bit off in Leavenworth, Kansas, back in '99, and then I went from there to other couple fucked up joints where I felt like I should have never been.
Right.
You know what I mean? I never been to no medium, no low, none of that shit.
All
Been
max.
stabbed a couple times.
In the joint?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was that behind? Politics behind that? Because I know it had to do with politics.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of politics going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At this time, I wasn't too aware of what was going on. First time ever in the joint, federal, and it's different. It's ran different from a state joint. You know what I mean? I met every motherfucker I wanted to ever meet in life. You know what I mean? Cats I heard about, never met. You know what I mean? But the reason behind that shit fucked me up. You know what I mean? Because, you know, it's like when you into it with a motherfucker from that state or that city, that's who you into it with. You into it with everybody type shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Another Milwaukee, Wisconsin nigga got into it with a DC boy in there motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And I was one of those that was from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They got caught slipping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Take us through that day. What transpired from the time you woke up to popping out your cell to, as they call it, getting hit?
you know, when you know that's law. You know what I'm saying? Once that's the incident, you report that incident. You know, we had a homie that got into it with another DC dude in the kitchen at Chow Hall. You know, they work in mysterious hours of the morning type shit. You know, by the time breakfast comes, you know, you supposed to go alert your homies and let a motherfucker know what's going on type of shit. So everybody can be aware.
Right.
You know, I was going to commissary. Our unit was the first unit called to commissary that morning. You know what I'm saying? I was going to commissary. And I'm talking to this dude who I normally kick it with, you know what I mean, chop it up with. And
Where he was from?
he was from out of DC.
Okay.
His name Tony, I ain't gonna never forget. But I remember him talking to me, but I wasn't doing nothing but feeding him information about myself to be accurate, you know what I'm saying? He was like, man, you know, now remind you, I don't know what's going on in the kitchen and the chow hall at the time, cause that shit happened like at 5 something in the motherfucking morning type shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he was like, man, yeah, you'd be, y'all, yeah. He said, where you from, fam? I said, I'm from Wisconsin, man. I'm from Milwaukee. Nigga, and he just having a regular conversation with me. He talking about DC, Northwest, Southwest. He talking about all that shit. Then he said, oh yeah, you be up in there going with Green Bay all the time, man. Well, I ain't do nothing but feed them cats information where I'm really from.
Right.
And as you know, I'm in line with my commissary bag and shit. We down there. Motherfucker snatched on me. I felt the first poke, but I ain't kind of really, you know what I mean, react to it until I realized what was going on. I don't know if they call it shock or nothing, but I felt that shit. It was like, the fuck? Try to have my sweatshirt on, try to come out the sweatshirt, and there was a little tussle down there because if you're from the Midwest and you don't help, that's your ass. I don't give a fuck what state you from. As long as it's in that Midwest area, that's your ass.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we all the coalition in that bitch.
Yeah.
On my life, a lot of people got hurt. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know what was going on, because if I knew what was going on, I would have never went to commissary.
Right.
On my life, I would have put my knife on me, and I would have, shit, was happening.
Right.
You know, my life. But I didn't know what was going on, though.
Glad you made it up out that situation. So you did 13 straight.
Yes.
Fed time.
Maximum.
What was it like when you came home?
When I came home.
What year did you come home?
I came.
All right, we back. So let's go back some. Like, let's say late 80s, early 90s. Who was out here getting that money?
I mean, you know, my people was a little bit more younger, but the people that was getting money back in the, I mean, the early 80s and mid 80s that I do know of, I'm gonna say Jerry Walker, the nigga JP down there on the east side, my mama.
Shout out Annie Mae.
The nigga Mal
Where he from?
off of Brown Street.
Okay. What drugs was out back then?
MJ was getting money too.
Where MJ from?
From out of Westline.
Westline. What kind of drugs was out back then?
Your pills was Red Devils. You know what I mean? Marijuana was the most, as far as in our communities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then, you know, like you know, if you had some powder cocaine, you had a few dollars.
Right.
You know what I mean? You ain't see too much cocaine in the neighborhood like that. It was just really just pills and marijuana. You had a few heroin addicts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But cocaine wasn't out there like that, but it became later, you know what I mean?
So a couple cats out here getting money, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
I mean,
but my brother was getting monies in that 90s shit though.
you already know him.
You know what I mean?
But you was quote unquote the stick up man.
Shit. Man, I was everything, man. Hey, all my life, I played the game for real, man.
Yeah.
I was everything. You know what I mean?
But what you
I was just mainly, I was some of the muscle.
Yeah. Take
I
care
ain't,
of shit.
everybody know I ain't sell drugs and that shit. I was coming. You fuck over one of mine, I was coming.
Right.
You know, and a few of us played that role.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we had shit too, though. You think we getting money? No, it wasn't that. You know what I mean? It was more, I'm my brother's keeper type shit. Right. I got him. I know y'all got him too, but I got him.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm coming, but yeah, as far as the stick up shit, man, yeah, I played that life too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played that life too. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you went to the joint, what sent you to the joint?
You know, I was caught. I was charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had a little weed house down there in the hood in Ghost Town. You know, and that motherfucker, I used to cop like I used to sell like at least a pound and a half out that bitch a day, 2 pounds a day. That's in bags.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you know the house was hot. You know what I'm saying? They come up in that bitch. But it was told that another ghetto boy, you know what I mean? He had like some of the same. We had some of the same shit on. You know, we represented the ghetto. That's when that ghetto wear came out. That ghetto fabulous, that ghetto all star, that ghetto celebrity, and all that shit came out back in the day. And I had a red ghetto fabulous shirt on, and Lil Bro had a ghetto all star shirt on. I mean,
Right.
superstar shirt. And it was the same color type shit. We both had our black pants on. I had black Guests on. He had the black Jabos on.
Right.
But when you coming up in there to bust a move, and you're a part of that task force or them agents or whatever the case may be, you coming to buy some drugs, you ain't really looking at a motherfucker face expression because in your eyes we all black anyway. And we in a drug house. Where's there's guns and shit at, you know what I mean? So when they come, they knew who they want.
Mm-hmm.
So that was another way how they can get me too. And by me being who I am and the things that I did in life, I didn't go play with them hunkies. I took whatever the fuck came to me. But
Right.
it was told that I pointed a gun in their face at the door. And that wasn't the case. I didn't point no gun in no motherfucking body's face.
Shit, if you did, you wouldn't be here.
But I took that charge
Right.
because I'm the one that they really wanted.
Right.
For me to bring down other ghetto boys, but it didn't happen.
There
You know what I'm saying?
So they hit you with 13 behind that.
Yes.
What it was like that ride going to the penitentiary, man, the federal penitentiary.
All I can say, man, I haven't been to a state joint like some of the other guys and people do. I've been to the state joint once out my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of different transitioning over to a higher security environment.
What
Because,
made it different?
It's different because in our festival maximum prisons, you lock down 24 hours, 23 hours a day damn near sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
In the federal maximum prison, you ain't locked in no cell, boss.
Right.
You out. You know what I mean? The yard closed at a certain time, but you out on your unit. Like it's just some regular shit going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the environment was different. You dealing with people all over the world, all over the motherfucking shit, other countries in this motherfucker.
Right. So you was in the Midwest car, right?
Yeah.
What other cats was in the car with you?
I mean,
If you can explain what a car is when it comes to the penitentiary.
A car
to Fed
is
joints.
your own state.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We got a Milwaukee car.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Campbell, rest in peace, big homie Poe Kelly, and Uncle Jed Walker had that car.
Right.
Sold up if you from out of Milwaukee. But overall, as far as dealing with the Midwest coalition, we not a car, we are part of that coalition. You know, because we all from the Midwest. But I ain't finna lie, I ain't finna exaggerate about shit that I say. My name is Ghetto Boy Don Fly, man. I've been around all the toppy fists. The only motherfucker I ain't met was Jeff Ford. I mean, shit, anybody else, shit. I done damn near met every motherfucker that's top officials in any organization. I even seen Larry when I went back on my appeal. I ain't talked to him.
Right.
And then he was going back on his shit too. You know what I mean? On my soul. No, I've been around all the guys, all the board members, majority of them. I've been around a lot. I've been around King Troy from Mafia Insane. I've been around Malachi, Prince, Biggs. I've been around JR. I've been around Crusher, Lil Crusher. I know Bible. I know Parties. I know Bougie. Folks, man, listen, I know T-Fly. I know Pooh Bear, who got it for the travelers now. You know what I mean? I know little folk on the hustle tomorrow. Fam, I done met Gaddafi nephew. I've been around motherfucking Pistol Pete. I've been around motherfucking Wakita. I've been around every motherfucker, fam, that's got something to do. Fam, Gunsmoke, K-Dog, Heron, Fool. Folks, I've been around them. I've been around the guys, and I'm one of the guys. Yeah.
Dig that.
And Godfather love you, baby. That's another boy, man. That's my nigga there. Mwah.
Dig
Yeah.
that.
All them niggas home too.
Yeah.
Majority of them niggas home.
You got a question? No. So, if you can go back in time and talk to your younger self, what would you say?
If I can go back into my younger self, I mean, I don't think I can say, and I'm just keeping it real. I mean, I'm not trying to impress no motherfucker or say something that I'm not. I'm a certified gangster out here. I'm 50 years old. I'm still in tune with the streets. I fuck with a lot of little young niggas. And if I go back into time, I would tell myself something that didn't nobody ever tell me.
What would that be?
Don't play with no motherfucker out here.
Dig
And
that.
always be respectful.
So you wouldn't change nothing?
I wouldn't change a motherfucking thing, folks.
That's what's happening. All right. When it comes to the ghetto, man, who was something like a loss that you took from the ghetto that really, you know what I mean, fucked up the motion of the ghetto? Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, it all depends on what aspect of that you're talking about. Because there's two different losses that a person then took to the form when you're dealing with the ghetto that could have started reactions.
Speak on it if you want.
Okay, you got, for example, you know, like your cousin. That was one of our first.
Mm-hmm.
That was very emotional.
Who was that?
It turned Squeak.
Squeak G.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Sean, we talking about Lil Cuz.
Yeah.
Listen, and that's why I always tell a motherfucker, don't play with no motherfucker. That's how you keep the cheat up off yourself.
Right.
When we lost him, the city of Milwaukee seen some monsters because we wasn't even doing that. On my life, we wasn't even doing that.
Right.
We was into house party fights and all this other weird shit, but we never got on that level.
Until you lost Squeak.
Until that happened. Him and Toy Boy was the first two people.
I remember Toy Boy. I remember that name.
You hear me?
Yeah.
So that's the emotional side.
Right.
Now you got another side.
What side is that?
I'm not even gonna speak on their names. They know who they is. Cause I'm pretty much sure they gonna see this shit too.
Right.
But if it was just one individual, I'd be able to speak on that person's name. But it's multiple.
Right.
And that would cause the fucked up reaction. Which I wouldn't give a fuck about it, but it will.
Yeah.
Because the truth is the truth. But that's only for our family to know, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? But the streets know this shit too, though. I just don't want to put it out there as far as names. You hear me? But though that's a part of us, motherfuckers know what's going on.
Right on, right on. All right. It's been another episode of FUTV for us, television, because that's who it's for. Appreciate you, Fly, taking that time of your day. You know what I'm saying? Lace us with some game, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.